What's quack-a-lackin'? It's been 3 weeks since I did a backstage video, and I'm so sorry about that. 2 weeks ago, that was intentional. I was going down to Phillips Avenue. I knew there was going to be a lot of traffic, horns, just background noise. There was going to be a lot of people walking around Phillips Avenue, definitely people staring at what I was doing. And I knew it was going to be a lot of distractions, so I just wanted to focus on the video itself that week and not do a behind the scenes. And that video was an accomplishment because I filmed inside somewhere for the first time at Josiah's Coffee House. And it was just a couple of quick panning shots, and I did maybe 2 or 3 sentences of dialogue inside, but I filmed inside for the first place. So that's a milestone for me and something I need to continue working on. But that was the first step of it. And then last week I went to the Japanese gardens, and I 100% filmed most of a video for this channel throughout the process of that, but I forgot the ending. I forgot to film the end. So I could have just filmed an ending recap from home or somewhere in my neighborhood later on, but that's just too cheesy, and I've already had to do that before. So I just deleted all of that footage and scrapped it. So this week, hopefully we do the whole damn... Excuse my French, as my Uncle Clark would say. Hopefully this week we do the whole behind the scenes and I don't forget the ending. I've come to Lake Benton, Minnesota this week. At the Japanese gardens last week, there was a historical marker that talked about a Chief White Lodge and a band of Santee Sioux who were from this area. And I was wondering, hey, is there a historical marker there that maybe tells a little bit more of this story? And the only way to know was to come to Lake Benton to find out. So this week's video is Lake Benton, Minnesota, and I'm going to try to do my best to get up a channel, not only for Quackers World, get a video there, but get a video for you guys here at Quackers Backstage as well. So I'm going to move on into town now, look around, find out what I'm going to do. I'm really just kind of winging it here, and I will check back in with you along the way. Okay, so I've walked around the downtown Lake Benton area. It doesn't take a lot. I'll show you what it looks like real quick, give you a quick glimpse of the downtown. But I've walked around the downtown area. I've looked for some historical markers, but quite honestly, the majority of my attention has just been on taking B-roll clips of some of the more important buildings in here and just trying to capture a little bit of the aesthetic of small town America, because it's absolutely beautiful. So I've done that. I filmed my opening intro, what you would call the hook, but I don't really hook with them. I just say what I'm doing on the video. I've got some clips to do an opening montage behind that. And then I gave a little bit of background information on the town itself. So now I'm going to do a little bit of a walk around downtown. I'm going to explain what brings us here today, why we have come to this town. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of winging it on this week's video, so it's just going to have to kind of come together on its own. But so far, the weather's a little bit humid. It's 84 degrees, but we're close to the lake, so the humidity is a little bit higher than what it is in Sioux Falls. So humidity to deal with, but other than that, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Birds singing in the background, small town. I love the vibe. People notice me, but they don't stare at me the way they do in Sioux Falls. So, so far, so good. Let's keep it going. I'll check back in with you when I can. Okay, so I have walked around now both the downtown and a residential neighborhood in downtown, and I'm leading up to my next location because there's very little chance that I'm going to find anything about White Lodge in this town. So I want to show some of the historical things of the town and really show off the glacial lake, because the main thing in this town is this really huge glacial lake that exists here. So I'm going to move on to the next location, which is the home of a man named Ernest Osbeck, who was instrumental in developing this whole town originally. In very much the same way that Dr. Phillips was back in Sioux Falls, Ernest Osbeck was that influential here. So I'm going to go find his home, but according to Gemini, it will take me 45 minutes to walk there. So I'm going to go back downtown where I parked at, and I'm going to drive over to the house. But right across the street from where I'm parked is the next location I wanted to show after the Osbeck home, and that's the Opera House. So I'm going to kind of skip ahead of myself. Before I leave, I'm going to go ahead and film the Opera House section of the video, which is going to come later. And then after I film the Opera House section, I'm going to get in the car and drive over to the Osbeck house which will come first in the vlog. So I'm kind of mixing up the order. Hopefully I remember and keep that straight in editing and don't do them backwards. But that's the plan. I'm going to do the Opera House real quick right now. Then I am going to go show the Osbeck house and tell a little about this man and why he was so instrumental to the development of this community. And then from there, we're going to head out and look at the lake. And I can't wait to show you guys the lake. And I definitely can't wait to put it on the other vlog, because this lake is enormous and it's really cool. It's a shallow lake. You can walk throughout just about the entire thing without ever going in water over your head. So anyway, I'm just about back down to the Opera House now. I'm going to do that section, and then I will check back in with you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. I know this is crazy. I know that the backstage, the behind the scenes stuff is kind of choppy and random, and that will even out with time. But I just wanted to share with you guys what I go through in making these videos. Partially just for people who enjoy the videos in the Quackers World channel. If there's a video they really like, then this will give them a way of seeing the process behind it. So anyway, I'm going to go to the Opera House real quick, then I'm going to go to the house, and then we'll head out to the lake. So quick change of plans. I filmed my section here at the Lake Benton Opera House. And then I got in the car and I put in directions to go to the Osbeck house, which Gemini had told me was going to be a 44-minute walk. But when I put in the directions in Google Maps, it said it was a 2-minute walk. It's right around the curve up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and hoof it on foot, walk on up, film the Osbeck portion, which will come before the Opera House portion in the video. I had to film them backwards. Well, I didn't have to, but I did film them backwards. So I'm going to come up here and show the Osbeck house, tell a little bit about this man and how he helped this community get its start. And then from there, we're going to move on and look at the lake. Give you guys just a quick look at the Ernest Osbeck house, which Gemini led me to believe was going to be very difficult to get to, but it was actually just right around the corner from where I was at. This is a Queen Anne style home constructed in 1896. And I've told the story of Ernest Osbeck. I did leave out one thing that I wanted to say, but it's very minor, inconsequential. So I think that just wraps up the downtown area of Lake Benton. So now I'm going to move on to an area known as Norwegian Creek Park. And that is about a 5-minute drive. So I'm definitely not going to do that on foot, Beamer rolling through. So I'm not going to do that on foot. I'm going to jump in the car and drive up to the park. It is a very small park. Well, it seems very small based on what I've read. But the thing about it is that it is a peninsula that goes up into the lake. And I think that if you get to the upper point of this peninsula, it's going to give a near 360-degree view of this glacial lake. So that's the next location where we're going to next. I will show that to you when I get there and update you. So far, no historical markers of any kind that give me any information about White Lodge Funeral Home. Not going to read the plaque, but I will show it as best as I can. So, and I didn't really expect to find anything about that. I just wanted to really come see this town and check out the area, and I'm having a good day so far. Weather is nice. It's about 84 degrees. It is humid, but that's because we're next to the lake. So I'm going to go check out the lake next, and we'll just keep on trucking. Okay, so I have arrived at Lake Benton, but I had my locations a little bit backwards. I am at Norwegian Creek Park, which is where I intended to go, but I had them backwards. This is like the main camping and fishing area right outside Lake Benton. This is a 140-acre park. So it is one of the locations on my list, but I got it backwards in terms of the fact that this isn't the one that is the peninsula. That is a place called Picnic Point, which is much smaller than Norwegian Creek Park. So we're going to go to Picnic Point after this and get some good shots of the lake. We'll get a few good shots while we're here, but I'm just going to explore this area quickly and see what I can find, show as much of it as I can, and then move on because I got a late start to today. We're going to run out of daylight and I've still got a lot of ground to cover. So I'm going to hustle through this. I'll check back in with you guys when I can, but I need to quickly show some video of this lake because I've been in Lake Benton. I've explored the whole downtown, but no one has seen the lake yet. So this is going to be the introduction to the lake. I need to look around and figure out what scene, what angle, what framing I want to use, and we'll just go from there. We've got really nice clouds in the sky today, at least, so there are some darker ones blowing in, and I hope that that doesn't mean that rain is coming, because like I say, I've got a lot of ground to cover. So I'm going to cut this now. I'm going to get back to the Quackers World video, and like I say, I'm winging it. I'm winging it this whole video. I mean, I've done a little bit of reading about the area with Gemini before I came, but you already see how Gemini steered me wrong, so I don't have much confidence in her right now. But I'm going to put this video together, and we're going to keep on moving, keep trucking. All right, so I've done the video segment for the Norwegian Creek Park. I was mostly here to see views of the lake. I was holding out a minor amount of hope that in a 140-acre park, there might be some type of a historical marker about the indigenous people that lived along this lake in the past, but no such thing exists. There's no historical marker in the town or at this part of the lake. So the next destination is we're going to move on around the shoreline a little bit farther and make our way over to Picnic Point, which is the peninsula area I was talking about earlier. So we'll go check out Picnic Point. I'm going to show some more views of the lake. At this point, it's just more a video about the scenery of Lake Benton than anything. So we're going to go enjoy some more beautiful views and just see how it all comes together. Just one little quick side note, just to note to myself, and I have not been doing this. I've filmed like a good portion of this video already without doing this, and it's something I've been meaning to make a conscious effort on, and that is to have much longer pauses at the end of my clips. I really need to switch my video editing software and try out either CapCut or DaVinci Resolve. So far, I've been using OpenShot to edit my videos, which is a free open source program. I've become familiar with it, so it has that comfort factor, and that's why I've been trying to stick to it. But it just has so many glitchy problems with it. And one of them is that at the end of my clips, somehow it just puts in this weird audio distortion. Like the end of the clip will just be like... Can't stand the sound. And in fact, if you go back to my very first video, the Falls Park video between the scene transitions, you will see that more than one time because I left it in. And I'm so unhappy with it that in the videos I do now, I cut that out. And the result is that on many of my clips, I have to cut them far shorter than what I mean to, and I feel like I lose a part of the story when I do that. So I'm not happy with it, and other than switching and learning a new editing software, which I fully intend to do, while I'm still using OpenShot, about the best thing that I can do is leave like an extra 3 or 4 seconds at the end of each clip. And that way, if the audio at the end of the clip does get distorted and I do have to cut it short, the part I'm cutting short is something I was going to cut out anyway, so who cares? So I really need to get better at that. I need to, instead of just clicking record to stop right away, I need to mentally in my head count to 3 or count to 4 and then push that button. So just documenting that is one of the struggles I'm facing, and it's more about the editing software than the filming itself, but the filming is part of it, and I need to do that anyway so that I don't do so many hard cuts and I can do more transitions. I don't do many transitions because I don't have the extra space in the video for the overlap, and I really think something like a simple crossfade makes a video better than a hard cut, although there is a time and place for hard cuts as well, and I'm just sort of learning all this as I go. So just a quick side note to interject and document. That's all. All right, I'm going to continue on. I'm walking back towards the car, and I'm going to head out to Picnic Point. All right, so I have concluded the tour of the Picnic Point area. This place is about a 20-minute drive from the town of Lake Benton, but it's still considered to be part of Lake Benton because this is a very rural area. This park is also part of the Lincoln County Park System, so and it's very small, very secluded. There's camping available here. There's probably about 20 camping spots. There's only one person camping. If you're looking for a isolated spot, this is where you want to come because you'll have the whole place all to yourself. But it's also very small. There's not a lot to show. It's just more or less a place where I concluded the video. So I showed that area. I concluded the video. I don't know if announced is the right word, but I mentioned I mentioned that I had gotten a couple of leads while I was here, because I did. There is, in Lake Benton, there's a cemetery that, part of this cemetery is native burial mounds that are up to 10,000 years old. So that's one location to go look. And also there's a place called Hole in the Mountain Park, which is a natural pass through the Buffalo Ridge. There's a lot of history in that area, and somewhere within the Hole in the Mountain Park there is what's known as the Snyder Cabin. It's a legitimate cabin from 1860. So I've got a couple of leads, which gives me a reason to come back to this area sometime in the future. So I announced that. And then I previewed next week's video. Next week, we're going to go back home to Sioux Falls and tour one of the historic districts in town. So anyway, that about wraps it up for this venture to Lake Benton, Minnesota. It's honestly a cool place. It's a cool place. I had a good time today. Definitely worth making a day trip here, or even a couple of days camping. So I look forward to coming back, and I look forward to showing it to you guys on the other video. If you want to see the vlog that I made today at Lake Benton, I'll leave a link down below in the pinned comment. So as always, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I love you all. Quackers out. We are on the trail of, let's stop and retake. Let's stop and retake. Ready? Go. There were blizzards during the winter. They suffered crop failures, insect plagues, you name it. I mispronounced that. Let's just back up, and do it again, because I don't like the way I said that. I've never seen Lake Benton. I bet you've never seen Lake Benton. Oh, cut. I see a city park directly ahead of where we are going. And I find that city parks are usually the best place. Is this a city park? It's not a city park. Now that we've gotten this little glimpse of the historic Lake Benton Opera House, look, retake. Now that we've gotten this glimpse of the historic Lake Benton Arcade, take 287. 287. There's somebody coming up behind me. Let's just cut. This was a man named, forgot what his name was. Osbeck. Cut. Can't work like this. Loud truck coming too. Loud truck coming. Double cut. All right, let's go before another truck comes. I had moved on down the road from Peninsula Point. The drive here was through, it's about 13 miles from the Norwegian Creek Park to get to, why did I say Peninsula Point? Cut. I got to redo the whole thing. I said the wrong damn name of the place. Cut.